holes in the door, and then go to bed. Phew. Next morning I dig at the outer side of the log fence with the hoe. I am uneasy about the log fence alone, and because of that, I woke up in the middle of the night several times. I want to dig hard with the hoe for a sound sleep. The width is about 1 meter and 50 centimeters and the depth is 2 meters. Measurement. When I was making the log fence, I was able to not put log in a place that will be an entrance, but I already surrounded the place with a moat. So, I made a bridge with a board. This board is too heavy to move, but because I have the all-purpose farming tool, I have no problem with the current conditions since there is only me. Yup, completing it made me feel good. Now, this place is safe. It might be safe. Yup, I want to think that it's safe. Well, the shelter security is secured, so next is food. Digging has taken quite a bit of time and the sun has inclined. Is it better not to overdo things? This would be the last today. I thought so because this is not the time to joke around. If I don't use the all-purpose farming tool, my physical strength will decrease. Therefore, I decide to plow the place to make it a field using the hoe form of the all-purpose farming tool until sunset. Anyway, what I wanted to do is farming. I set up the hoe and started plowing. Was there a standard size for a field? Well, I can't take measurements even if there is. So I decided to make ridges in a place that is about 50 meters square. All job was done using the hoe. It's quite fun. The field was completed quickly. In order not to accidentally trample it, I raised the perimeter of the field slightly. It feels good. Then, I just have noticed. There are neither seeds nor seedlings. There's no point in making a field. I made a field all through the night. I stayed up all night. The moonlight is bright, so I was not worried about darkness. I shook the hoe and built up a field. Here are carrots, here are potatoes. Cabbage is over there and I wonder what should be over there. It was a complete escapism. With the use of the all-purpose farming tool, I don't get thirsty, I don't feel hungry, and I don't feel sleepy. If you keep using it, you can move infinitely. I noticed that it was morning and looked at the log fence and the moat that surrounds my shelter. Ha ha ha. I wonder if there are vegetables that can be raised in the forest. I had no choice but to start plowing the forest. It is convenient to move while using all-purpose farming tools. By doing so, I might be able to encounter vegetables that can be raised. Anyway, both grass and trees that are hit by the hoe form of the all-purpose farming tool become fertilizer. I am not skillful enough to swing and observe the surrounding at the same time. Thus, I was able to hunt rabbit with fangs. Ha ha ha. I have done it again. It's a rabbit. What is this? Is it a habit for the rabbits around here to jump up in front of me? Moreover, while showing hostility like the last time, the head becomes fertilizer and the body part remains because the hoe hits its neck like last time. I decide to receive it gratefully. Although I had plowed into the forest until nightfall, I did not encounter any vegetation that can be planted, but I obtained 3 rabbit bodies. I have encountered 4 rabbits. I said 4, but one only has its head remained as its body became fertilizer. With this, I confirmed again and again that the part in front of the hoe will become fertilizer when hit. I put my hands together and prayed for the head. The bodies of the rabbits was a lot of trouble to carry because they have the same size like a medium-sized dog, so like what I did with the tree, I carried them with the hook form of the all-purpose farming tool. One of the various ways of using the all-purpose farming tool. While expressing my gratitude in various ways, I ate a rabbit and decided to sleep well today. Chapter 6: Opportunity and Encounter. I woke up. I washed my face and eat the roasted rabbit for breakfast as usual. I'm all fired up today. The immediate objective is to obtain something that can be grown in the field. I took the all-purpose farming to start plowing in high spirits. And I was surprised to see the field. There were small sproutlings on the ridge. Moreover, in a regular interval. Did somebody sow seeds? Who? Even if someone sowed them, they've grown too early. Is it God? I looked at the all-purpose farming tool in my hand. I ran into the forest, took a large wood, and carved the figure of the gods I met before I came here. Thinking about it, one looks young but feels old and the other one looks old but feels young. This is mysterious. They are not perfectly made, but I feel that their images are similar. Speaking of which, the god who gave me the all-purpose farming tool is different. I don't know how he looks, so I carved him using my imagination. Because he is the god of farming. Is he plump, since farming is tough? Is he slender? As a result of various thinking, I made a statue that resembles Hanazaka-jisen. TN. Hanazaka-jisen is a Japanese folklore of a man that can make withered tree blossom. I made an altar with the excess part of the tree I cut down and enshrined the wooden statue of the gods there. Thank you, God. After a long prayer, my goal changed. I need to protect the field. For now, let's assess my present condition. A big tree shelter. Well, fire, toilet, log fence and moat that surround them. 150 by 50 farm fields around it in all directions, 12 in all. The size of the residential space is about 4 of those. TN. Image last chapter was 1 chapter too early. There are sproutlings in every field. And it is up to me to protect that field. First, I need to prepare a fence around the current field. I won't let anyone approach. Beast. I'll make a fertilizer out of them with this all-purpose farming tool. Foo-fa-fa-foo. I made a fence with logs and enclosed the field in high tension. I also dug a moat. Furthermore, I plowed and smashed the place that was close to the forest. Though obtaining wood will be troublesome, it can't be helped considering that one might invade from the tree. I prepared boards to act as bridges since I made an entrance from all directions. It took 5 days to do those work. Meanwhile, as the sproutlings grew rapidly, 6 rabbits with fangs and 1 puppy-size rat invaded the field. They became fertilizer of the field. I didn't even think about making them food. It's because there is already a huge boar for food. Its height is about 2 meters as seen from the front and its width is about the same. Its total length is about 4 meters. I was pretty scared, but as it approached the field, I resolved myself. I transformed the all-purpose farming tool to a hoe and cut its neck. Its meat is delicious. Foo-fa-foo. The present things I have are substantial. I'm happy. For the time being, my anti-beast measures are thorough. However, the enemy of the fields is not only the beast. There are birds and insects. Unlike the rabbit, rat, and wild boar, I haven't seen any birds or bugs, but I'm sure they exist. They are not putting their hands on my field yet because they still don't see its value. But when they start to bear fruit, they'll attack. Somehow, I need to decide a measure. Speaking of which, what kind of produce are they? They are the same in one field, but they are of different types for each field. It is something you can eat. I want them to be something that can be eaten. If those are ornamental plants, I'm confident that my knees will collapse. And, should I support them with a splint? It is I who want to try farming, but my knowledge is too insufficient. I should have studied more than I sleep when I was in the hospital. There is no meaning in regretting it now. I'll just do what I can. Anyway, as a measure against birds, a scarecrow. While I was thinking, I heard sounds from a beast from the field. It sounds like a dog. It feels like the dog is trying its hardest to bark. I approached the sound while holding the hoe form of the all-purpose farming tool. There was a big dog on the other side of the log fence and moat that surrounds the field. It's a black dog. Its size is similar to a large breed dog. I felt like my heart is as high as my head. If it manages to cross, it will surely get me. That big black dog is barking at me. What is it? I wonder why, but I don't feel any hostility. There was another black dog of similar size behind that black dog. Looking at them closely, I noticed that the 2 of them are full of injuries. I opened the nearby entrance and put the board over the moat. The barking dog shuts up and stares at me. I am a little scared, but as I'm holding the all-purpose farming tool, my heart calms down naturally. As I calm down, I looked at the dogs again and noticed the dog behind is female. It even has a big stomach. Is the dog in front a male? That means they're a couple. Let's see. It is no good to drive them away. The female dog walks unsteadily like it was dizzy. The male dog sometimes looks back anxiously while glaring at me. Dogs are farmers' ally. When I was a child, I wanted to have a dog, but I never got one. Thinking about the reasons to take in the dogs, I relaxed my posture, put down the hoe form all-purpose farming tool. It seems that the dog understood and stopped glaring at me. I don't know if they understand words, so for the meantime, I invited them with the use of gesture. Chapter 7. Dogs. 2 dogs are accompanying me from behind as I walk. They are quite obedient. They crossed the moat and the fence and went inside my place. I invited them near the bonfire as it is, but they did not get near. Does it mean that beasts are scared of fire? I thought about such a thing, but it seems that the reason is different. The 2 of them approached the body of the wild boar that I knocked down. Because the wild boar was large, I only cut a necessary amount and left it. Are you hungry? I think it's decreasing. Wait. Wild boar meat was more delicious compared to the rabbit meat. I'm not going to give it all to you. I quickly cut the wild boar meat with the knife form of the all-purpose farming tool. I secured the thigh part for the time being. Then, the sirloin afterward is there. Ribs. It was easy because I felt no resistance when using the knife form of the all-purpose farming tool. I wrapped the meat I secured with large leaves and carried it to my tree trunk crib. These large leaves were discovered at the outer part of the field that I reclaimed. I gave the leftover meat and the bones to the dogs when I was done. The 2 of them started eating wild boar with great momentum. I thought about cutting it into smaller pieces so that it will be easier to eat, but it didn't seem necessary. Anyway, I understood what I should work on next. There is no table. Thinking about it, I have been using the ground up to now. I should have noticed it sooner. I took a moderate-size log and split it into 2 vertically. I then scraped the top of the half circle a little flat so that it won't move. The table of wild design is now complete. In addition, I also prepared log chairs. I feel that the cultural level has risen up. While working on those, the dogs were chewing wild boar meat. They ate a considerable amount. I think that they have eaten more than their body size. Well, I guess it's better for them to eat it than be wasted. I leave the eating dogs and thought about building a hut. Once I harvest something on the field, I need a place to store it. It's a storehouse rather than a hut. I had the feeling when I made the toilet. Even if I had poor knowledge, I have the all-purpose farming tool. However, an above-the-ground house is too difficult for an amateur. In the end, I only can build something like the toilet. The only difference would be the size and the floor. The size is around 8 tatami mats. It is going to be a storage place, so I want it to be on a reasonable size. By using thick trees as pillars on 4 corners, there will be no problem in strength. The floor is not made of woods but the ground. Considering that it is a crop storage, I thought that it would be better for it to be exposed to the cold ground. After this, I'll make shelves where I can place the crops. By the way, by the time I tried getting woods to make shelves, the dogs had finished eating. The wild boar has become bones. What's with her stomach? I thought about it when the female dog screamed in pain. Did she eat too much? I tried to approach it in a hurry, but the male dog howls and obstructs me. I thought it wouldn't be the case, but the female dog wandered around and screamed again. What's this? By chance, is she going to give birth? Outdoor? She'll give birth in such a place? No, a place where she can give birth to. In my tree trunk crib? I kept the meat there. If that is the case, I induced the 2 dogs to go to the just-made storehouse. It's better than an open field. I guess the female dog thought so too and obediently entered the storehouse. She came and fell in the corner. The male dog is looking at me anxiously. Childbirth. It is useless. I don't have a single fragment of knowledge about it. For the time being, the day draws to a close. If the sun goes down, the temperature goes down too. I decided to lit a fire in the storehouse. I lightly dig the ground near the center of the room and make a simple fireplace shape. I spread ash over it. After that, I put woods on top of it and lit it up. Smoke escapes from the lighting window. There is no door too, so they will not be fumigated. After that is drinking water. I instantly scrape a log to an improvised bucket and carried water there. It seems that I didn't make a mistake because the female dog gulps down water immediately afterwards. She gave birth here. The puppies will fall on the ground. Is it alright for them to be directly on the ground? However, I don't have a blanket or anything similar. If I knew that this would happen, I should have secured the rabbit fur or the wild boar hide. From what I have seen on TV before, horses gave birth on straw. However, There is no such thing as straw in this area. It might be possible if I enter the forest and collects grass, but it is already dark. Even if I keep on plowing, collecting grass in the dark forest is an arduous work. Can't I do anything? While thinking about it, the female dog takes action like digging the ground. I put out the all-purpose farming tool and transform it into a shovel. The difference between a shovel and a scoop is a part where you can put your foot on. For me, scoop is something that can be used with one hand. I imagine a shovel, then hold it with both hands. It doesn't matter. I dug up a corner of the storehouse with a shovel. Originally, this area is soft because it has been plowed by the hoe. It's softened more now that I'm using the shovel there. I softened an area about 1 tatami mat in the corner of the room with the shovel. The female dog understood what I had done and dug a hole in that soft place and hardened it using her paws and body to make it the birthplace. I only watch her afterward. They are probably feeling vulnerable since they just met me. I left it to the male dog and left the storehouse. The day has fallen completely and it was already awfully dark outside. I hope you give birth safely. I can't go to sleep as it is and decided to make accessories near the bonfire near my crib. By the way, the wild boar's bones looked scary at night, so I plowed it with the hoe and it had become fertilizer. Chapter 8. Life with Dogs. Morning. 4 new lives were born in the storehouse. There are 4 black puppies similar to the male dog and female dog. A female dog might have had a hard time, but I felt like it is a simple delivery. Am I too much influenced by TV? It can't be helped because I could only watch TV when I was confined in the hospital. In any case, the female dog seems to be safe. That's good. Well, it's breakfast. Anyway, as a celebration for puppy birth, I'll give the good part of the wild boar meat which I secured yesterday to the dogs. I call the male dog and hand over the meat. He then took it to the female dog. No way. Is he dominated? No, I think it is normal for a man to take care of her woman. Besides, it is just a proper act since the female has just given birth. I add woods on the bonfire and replenish the drinking water in the storehouse. I wonder if I should extinguish the fire, but if they are troubled by it, I think the dogs will take some action. Since they have done nothing this morning, I judged that there is no problem. But if a newborn puppy will burn itself, I'll feel sorry. I should make a fence around the fire. It will increase the fireplace impression. I should also have breakfast. Toilet. Speaking of which, the body of the 2 of them were badly bruised. Are they going to be okay? When I look at the male dog's body, it's certainly full of scars, but it's healing. Seeing their state yesterday, do they have high healing ability? Anyway, since they don't mind it, I guess there is no problem. I'm going to look for food. I'll leave this place to you. I said that to the male dog and decided to head for the forest. I divided the wild boar meat into 2 so they'll have food. There is still rabbit meat, but I preserved it by roasting it so it's unreliable. I can get over with it using the all-purpose farming tool, but those 2 can't. Well, they have lived even before coming to my place, so they might be able to do something about it. Wait, those 2? I'm planning to keep the 6 of them including their newborn puppies, but what plan do they have? Did they just come to me, give birth and plan to leave when the puppies grow up? If so, I feel somewhat lonely. I want them to leave me at least 1 puppy cause it was cute. I guess it will not be possible. No, wait. It is not yet certain that they leave. For the time being, let's have them think that my place is a good place. And, if possible, I want them to help me protect my field. Therefore, I need to secure food. I have to show them that I'm a resourceful master. 10 days have passed since the puppies were born. The 2 dogs and puppies were completely taken care by and were indebted to me to look for another place. I hope that they can assist me with my work. Surprise number 1. The 2 parent dogs are able to lightly jump over the log fence and moat that I made. They can jump at the height of about 2 to 3 meters and a distance of 5 to 6 meters. Then why did not jump over when they came here the first time? It is because of their injuries, or is it because the female dog is pregnant? Well, the parent dogs move around without permission and come into the forest and hunt rabbits, etc. I wonder why they did not eat it as it is and brought it before me. Do they recognize me as their master, or are they ordering me to remove the fur? Well, I'm saved because they secure food. Also, because I'm a bit uneasy, I expanded the width and the depth of the moat. Still, parent dogs are jumping over without minding it. Surprise number 2. The growth rate of puppies. The puppies' bodies are getting really big. They are small and cute in the early days, but in just 7 days, they stop drinking milk and start eating meat like their parents. If you look closely, their teeth are beginning to grow and the fangs are also showing. However, they still have that cute atmosphere. Surprise number 3. The dogs, both parents and puppies, are guarding my field. To be precise, they were driving away the birds that are approaching the field. Moreover, when they found suspicious bugs, they bark and call me reliable. Also, I was worried about the dogs' excretion for a while, but I was thankful that they are doing it in a specified location. These dogs might be highly intelligent. By the way, I focused on securing food and building a new storehouse these past 10 days. The reason for those are more mouths to feed, and the dogs are treating the previous storehouse as their house. I did not have a hard time securing food because of the all-purpose farming tool. Since I already have an experience in building one, the new storehouse is more steady. Is it more comfortable living there? My crib is built by making a hole in the tree trunk. Because it is in a tree, I can't use fire in there. Should I make my crib the storehouse and make this my new shelter? After considering it, I made a floor by arranging wooden boards on the ground of the new storehouse and decided to live there. Afterwards, while looking at the state of the field, I secured some lumbers and started making small items. Specifically, plates and cups. The plates and cups that I used until now will become the dogs. Compared to the time I first created one, I became able to make the new ones remarkably well. I think that it is a level that I can sell them. However, I am not satisfied with that, and now I am challenging Uniting Woods. Up to now, the only process I could do is cutting from a big wood, and its disadvantage is being a little too heavy. He is basically saying that he is going to try making tools made by a union of different wood parts. So far, all small furniture he made are solids, which are either carved or cut from a single trunk, though plates and glasses are just fine. Things like buckets that can store water are heavy and hard to use. I have the all-purpose farming tool so I can pick them up using the hook, but I don't want to rely on it on everything. If I can make something by uniting different wood parts, I can make something lighter. The end goal is a tub. I'll try making a bucket for the time being. How can I prevent water from leaking? I'm also securing leaves. Its main use is as wipes for the toilet. Next is bed. I found grass and collected it for the purpose of using it as toilet wipes, but after using it, I understood that I shouldn't have, so I just keep it as it is. If you enter the forest, it is hard to look for something because it grows to some extent. So, I started collecting them in order to use them as bed, although I'm surprised that I gathered more than expected. They are not heavy, but it is quite a labor to take the grass I mowed from that place just to make a bed. But the result of that hard work is wonderful. By the way, the puppies are the first to get a bed. It was scary to have a grass bed near an open bonfire, so I cleaned up the doghouse first. I put the grass bed because of the delivery, but at least they won't be cold now. I wonder how long this grass bed will hold. It is a little depressing thinking that it is necessary to collect again when it withers. Can't I do anything about it? It is really early, but the growth of the bud on the field is good. By the way, I began anticipating what was growing up. Carrot, potato, cabbage, tomato, pumpkin, cucumber, eggplant, radish, spinach, corn, watermelon, strawberry. Those are the crops I'm imagining when making the ridges. So the crops you pray for when making the ridge will grow? I want to experiment, but for the time being, I don't want to do something again until the crops in front of eyes can be harvested. Anyway, I haven't raised a crop until now. I don't even know how much water is good or bad. Moreover, the crops that I know of do not bloom this quick. In other words, these might be plants unique to this world. So, I divide one side of the field. I plowed around the perimeter of the ridge using the hoe form of the all-purpose farming tool on one side. I put some fertilizer and water the other, and did not do anything on the next. Let's predict how it will affect the harvest. One thing that is common to all crops is insect extermination. Because it did not know how to make agricultural chemicals, I thought about using fire, but thinking about how it will influence the crops, I didn't do it. Thinking about it, insects dislike water, so I changed the form of the all-purpose farming tool to a watering can and sprinkled water. I discovered that the insects hate water when I was watering the crops. After that, when I found a pest-like insect, I transformed the all-purpose farming tool to a watering can and water it to eliminate it. By the way, the dogs did not try to eat insects at all. It seems that they're good with the meat of beasts. Chapter 9. Dogs' Names. I decided to give the dogs a name. It's not good to call them male dog and mother dog forever. In fact, I already named the 4 puppies. Because they are black puppies, I named them Kuroichi, Kuroni, Kurosn, and Kuroyan. Kuroichi is curious and active. Kuroni is cautious and is always near Kuroichi. Kurosn is the strongest of the 4. She's the only female among the 4 of them. Kuroyan has his own pace. He does things differently from the other 3. While I was calling the 4 with such a feeling, I incidentally thought of the names of the parent dogs. I thought Kuro Papa and Kuro Mama are acceptable. But when I called them that, they had a very sad face, so I decided to think firmly. Choices: Kuro, black; Schwartz, TN, German; Noir, TN, French name, can be read as Noir; Nero, High; Kuro Taro, Kuro Mayu. I was a little embarrassed by my lack of naming sense, but I decided to write the name on the ground for the moment and let him choose. I intended to write Japanese, but it was converted into a strange character. However, I can read it without problem. Is it the influence of the beginner pack that God said? Until now, I have not talked to anyone and I did not realize that because I haven't write any letters. Anyway, I let him decide the name. Once Kuro Papa decided his name, I'll think of a matching girl name for Kuro Mama. At this time, I reconfirmed the high intelligence of the dogs. Are they able to read the characters I wrote? Kuro Papa chose Schwartz, but Kuro Mama protested and pressed his head over Kuro. Did you lose the protest? Kuro Papa touched the character Kuro unwillingly with his paw. Are you okay with that? He heard it, but he did not answer. Kuro Papa's eyes seemed to tell me I can't disobey my bride. I'll let you eat something luxurious tonight. It has been decided that Kuro Papa's name is now Kuro. Then, how about Kuro Mama? Choices: Shiro, Yuki, Jurara, Mizo. After thinking for a while, Kuro Mama seems to have decided on Yuki. He seems to wonder why I tried naming her Shiro. It's because she's Kuro's bride, although that would be like me disregarding her fur color. TN, Kuro equals black, Shiro equals white, Yuki equals snow. Kuro seems to be thinking that his naming sense is probably better than mine. I feel like he's looking at me wanting to say that, but I want to think that it's just my imagination. In any case, Kuro Mama's name has been decided to Yuki. Kuro, Yuki, Kuroichi, Kuroni, Kurosn, and Kuroyan. The name Yuki seems out of place, but let's not mind it. Kuro and the others are basically free. They go to the woods and look around the fields. However, one of them stays near me for some reason. Are they doing some guard duty system? Anyway, my loneliness from working alone has decreased a little. When I had some free time, I made a flying disc with wood. If you have dogs, you should have this. I tried throwing it to play with the puppies, but it appealed to them more than expected. Not only the puppies, Kuro and Yuki also compete. They're quite serious. The puppies don't give up either. I'd like it to be more harmonious. I had no choice but to make one for each of them and throw them in turn. The fight between dogs ceased, but I want you to stop bringing me your flying disc when I'm free. The dog's physical abilities are so great that I have to give my best throat to satisfy them. My arms hurt. Chapter 10. Dog. 30 days after the puppies were born, the puppies grew considerably big and they looked like Kuro and Yuki now. And a new discovery. Horns started to grow from the puppy's forehead. When I look at Kuro and Yuki, I see that they have broken horns on their foreheads. It is probably the reason why Kuro and Yuki let me stroke their backs but not their heads. From around the time when the horns of the puppies began to emerge, they let me pat their head, but Their broken horn is painful. Will it grow again? Are they really dogs? Well, I don't particularly care about the horns growing. This is a different world. I don't mind if they grow horns. Maybe they are enduring pain with a smile. Ha ha ha. Since you have horns that are shaped like a knife made of metal, I want you to stop rushing to me head on. The crops in the field are growing up quickly and healthily. Most of them are fruits. The strawberries and tomatoes are already turning red and seems to be harvestable already. Carrots and potatoes are leafy, which is something good. It will be able to harvest soon. These are the fields that I took care of when I divide the fields. Them growing up fast might be a result of me taking care of them.